I am Dawn Sim, also known as That Mom of Four. So I do have 4 daughters, run a couple of businesses, and I'm also pretty active on social media. All right. So if I'm meeting you for the first time, hi. And if I'm meeting you again, hello again. All right. Now, we do have a very special guest with us today as well. All right. Now, so we do have Yvon, who is an international board certified lactation consultant. She is the founder and CEO of Hegen, right, Private Limited. No, Hegen.
Hegen, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That.
So yes. So Yvon is also a mom of 4. So wow, I tell you, I'm so impressed.
High 5.
High 5.
No, high 4.
Oh my gosh. 8 kids between us, and she's also breastfed for 10 years. You know, I've done it for 4 years because it's 1 year each for each of my kids. But you did it for 10 years. So I'm really inspired. So Yvon, can you tell us more about yourself?
Well, thanks, Dawn. That's it's very heartwarming and wonderful introduction. And hello, everyone. Great to be here tonight with all of you. I'm Yvon, mother of 4 teenagers whom I have breastfed for a total of 10 years. And it's been an amazing journey. Every child is different, and every breastfeeding journey is absolutely different, but it's amazing.
Yes.
Combining the personal experiences together with continual learning in lactation education, I have finally become an IBCLC, and I strive to continue to show, guide, and grow with you all to make sure that you guys have a confident start and an exciting time ahead with your new season in life, parenthood.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Yvon. All right. I think breastfeeding is something that is very precious and a very golden opportunity for us to bond with our child and give them something that gives them a head start in life as well, right? So I do hope that through this webinar is going to somehow inspire you ladies to enjoy the journey or find ways to enjoy this journey a whole lot more, make it a more pleasurable one, and not just because you feel like it's just the right thing to do. Okay, so yes, you're going to hear a lot from our expert Yvon, but in case you guys want to find out more about Yvon, okay, you can actually go to lactationcenter.com. All right, so if you guys want to write it down, put it down somewhere, lactationcenter.com. That's where you can actually find out more information about Yvon and what Yvon does. Okay, awesome. Over to you, Yvon.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. So in Singapore, we're actually aligned with the World Health Organization, WHO, in recommending exclusive breastfeeding, providing breast milk exclusively to your baby, be it by direct latching, pumping, or feeding. But the most important part is to provide your breast milk to your baby, your first gift to your newborn. So the alignment with WHO is to breastfeed exclusively for the first 6 months, and then introduce water or weaning food from 6 months onwards, and try to carry on providing your breast milk complement with solids to at least 2 years and beyond. So this is really a goal, and we hope to walk alongside all the mommies here tonight. So allow me to share a personal journey with my number 3, Lucas. So Lucas was born a preemie, and he was really tiny. He was barely the size of my palm. And imagine after seeing his 2 older brothers who has like full term, and they're like turkey drumsticks, right? They're Thai. His is like Alaskan crabs, skinny, and he was just too tiny to latch at that age or at that stage. So being very successful and confident about my first 2 breastfeeding journey, I thought I got it all, you know. However, life just throws you, curveballs, right? That I was very shocked. And Lucas, because he was preemie, he was unable to suckle or to take by syringe or cupping. The milk just kept coming down, and the doctor had to counsel me like, Yvon, I understand you want to breastfeed Lucas, but it's very important that we have to get him to a safety mark. So as a mom, I think at that point, right, it is not about what is my goal. It is really my baby comes first. And then we had to introduce milk through a bottle. And the great news was Lucas got to the safety mark. We managed to go home together. And but the sad story behind this is until today, Lucas is the only one among the 4 of them that never latched. But what I want to inspire everyone is I never give up. As a breastfeeding mom, I continue to pump exclusively and continue to feed Lucas for up to 3 years with my breast milk. Yeah. And I think this is something I wanted to share. This is because every breastfeeding journey is different. There are ups, there are downs. It's not straightforward for some of us, but it's okay, guys. It's okay, because one day we're going to look back like how me and Dawn are talking about it, and we're going to laugh and we're going to share our story, or we're going to cry together. And we're like, that's what we have went through as a mom. So be bold, take the first step, try and enjoy your breastfeeding journey. And remember, you're not alone. You'll always have resources. You'll always have the support that helps you to succeed.
Oh my
Right,
God.
Dawn?
That is so inspiring, Yvonne. I tell you, I almost teared when I heard that. Okay, so I think the key takeaway really is a lot of people think that breastfeeding is, wow, you know, it's like it's a beautiful picture of a mother and a baby latching onto the breast, right? But you know, similar to you, every breastfeeding journey for me was different, and my youngest one hardly ever latched on. For some reason, she just doesn't want to. So I kept having to pump, and that's why I said I kept having mastitis, right? But it's really just you know, trying to persevere and give your baby the best that you can. But I'm sure there are better ways to do it than constantly suffering from mastitis, right? So
yes. Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. Yeah. So now, yeah.
Sorry. I just wanted to remind everybody, those that came later, I'm sure you all have questions ready. After hearing what Yvonne has said, you sure have questions ready. So please put in the Q&A box.
Yes. Please keep the questions coming, and then we'll talk about it later. So like myself, when I was a first-time mom, right, I had so many questions. I was also, you know, between the 90% and the 10%. I'm like, which one should I go? Yes. Yeah. So breast milk is actually very, very good. And it's the most precious gift endowed on a mom. And it's the first gift that mom can give to the baby. It's really priceless and as miraculous as it is. And there are so many benefits. I'm sure we hear a lot, you know, we have a lot of sources on internet, ChatGPT. They will tell you everything you need to know about breastfeeding. But I just want to reiterate, right, that breast milk comprises a full range of nutrition and all the antibodies components that can't be replaced by any other formula or supplements or any other alternative form of milk. So it's very important to give your baby this first booster in life. And also, breastfeeding promotes better cognitive and motor development. So do you notice that your kids, Dawn, like your girls might have like sharper eyesight or more sparkly eyes?
I can't compare, because like all of them don't wear glasses. So they have perfect eyesight. I hope it goes on for a very, very, very long time. But my 17-year-old still goes without glasses as well. All of them. So I hope that's because of the breast milk.
I'm sure there is some influence. Yeah. Then, you know, other than the babies or the kids to benefit from it, right? From moms, especially postpartumly, mom also benefits a lot from breastfeeding. It is nature's way of helping us recover after postpartum. So oxytocin is being released during labor, right? I'm sure some of the mommies that attended the pregnancy course, you hear this word oxytocin. And during childbirth, oxytocin helps to contract the uterus so that we can push the baby out to deliver the baby, right? Oxytocin. This is the same hormone, oxytocin, that is released when we are breastfeeding. Why? Because when we are breastfeeding, oxytocin helps to contract the muscles in the breast and actually helps to, press onto the milk ducts, right? The milk glands and and release milk through the ducts. So this is the same kind of effect that has this contraction. And the other benefits is the womb. These contractions continue. Then, you know, when if a mom is exclusively breastfeeding, we could actually feel a very achy feeling in our uterus, right? And initially I was wondering, why does it liken to sort of like a menstrual cramp? It's odd. But when I realized that, the more you feel it, the better, because your uterus trying to resume to its original size. So it's very good to help to resume and to contract. So this is the whole benefit of mom side of things. And other than that, about breastfeeding, about returning to our uterus size, original uterus size. Another very important part is, do you know oxytocin is often nicknamed as the
Happy.
love hormone?
Oh, love hormone.
Why? Do you know why is it called love hormone, happy hormone? Yeah,
So that you can bond with your baby more as well.
I'm very sure
Oh, I love, yeah.
you
Oh,
are right.
I don't know. I
But
was
the word
often very,
love,
yeah.
yes, it comes from a couple love, right? So it's also released during physical or um, intimate session, like
Ah,
during
okay.
orgasm.
Mm.
So oxytocin is a very good hormone, and breastfeeding actually helps to generate that more.
Oh,
Yeah.
so many
So hopefully we
benefits.
have the more 10% going down to, like, the 10% is like lowering, more going to the 90%, right?
Now it's 110%. Yeah.
No. But yes, I think other than that, like when we come back to the serious side of things, right, breastfeeding actually lowers mom's risk of like osteoporosis, ovarian cancer, and other sorts of cancer. So breastfeeding has multiple benefits for the child, for the mom, and for the whole family. Because like just now you mentioned, love hormone also means happier family, better bonding as a family unit.
Yeah.
However, it's very important to learn it. It's a skill to be learned. It is not straightforward. It takes practice, it takes guidance. So in order to enjoy these benefits, right, it is very important to invest time together as a couple to acquire the skill sets and the knowledge together.
Oh, okay. So get your notepads out.
Yes, absolutely. So today, I hope that after the session tonight, I hope that parents out there will have 5 takeaways from this session by Yvon. All right, 5 takeaways, and I use the abbreviation AWAKE. So please stay awake with me, all right? So there are 5 words, and let me begin. What are they? First, it's very important, and I observed that a lot of new couples, young couples that I've met personally during baby fair or during our consultations, etc., they are often unsure where antenatal education come in during this whole journey, right? So give you an analogy. So don't imagine, right? Mommies out there, imagine if I use driving as an analogy. If you don't know how to drive, okay, would you just hop into a car and drive into the road safely and confidently?
No way. Never in
No
Singapore.
way. And it's pretty impossible, right? It's quite a natural answer that comes straight to our head. So now relate it back to breastfeeding, which is a life skill. Would you want to jump into motherhood and try to navigate blindly? It's painful. It's gonna be a lot of bumps ahead. So for the health and the safety of your baby and yourself, antenatal education is very, very essential. And it's actually the top priority for starting your breastfeeding journey confidently on the right step. It's very, very important. So my husband and I, we attended an antenatal class 19 years ago, or maybe 20. Yeah, 20 years ago, because my eldest is now 19. So
Oh,
before,
you look so
yes.
young.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Well,
Yeah.
I feel that mental preparation is a very large part of
Yes.
antenatal
Yes.
classes to have you
Absolutely.
have realistic expectations, right?
Yes.
Mm.
I think, yeah, it's so important because like my husband and I, we attended the class. So we are aligned in terms of expectations, in terms of setting goals together. Like we know if we are offered formula, for example, we know how to decline it because we know what is ahead. So some couples actually might ask, I can feel like some of them may be already typing in like, hey, wouldn't the LCs or the parent guards at the delivery ward provide this? I have confinement nanny. I'm staying in a confinement center. Wouldn't they take care of this for me from the onset or like help me with it? Well, so if you are clear, right? If you're clear and you're very aware, like just now you mentioned, Dawn, when you have a good vision of what you want to hit or the choices you have from the onset, as a mom, you take the lead in directing the journey and make better informed choices.
Yeah.
So trained and certified IBCLC educators will be able to provide the science-backed knowledge. And then you will be equipped with the awareness, for example, like body changes. Nobody tells us that we will cry nonstop, or we will be so emotional or triggered by small little thing. Husband never washed something properly, you know.
Yeah, I remember those days. And then he
Or
will like
spilled the milk. Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
with a good antenatal education, it is to help yourself proactively towards your breastfeeding journey. Yeah. So give you some snippets, the parents out there, what to expect or what to see. Okay, ready, get set, go. All right. Some of them be whoa, you know.
Everybody's got it.
Yes, and it's going to be very natural for the upcoming months and years ahead. Very important, we need to know the breastfeeding anatomy 101. Okay, first, we need to understand about our breasts. We keep talking about breastfeeding, but we need to understand what are we talking about. So the nipple is actually the cherry or the protrude that is surrounded by the areola, which is the darkest skin around the nipple. And then the alveoli are the grape-like, if you see on the right-hand side, right, are the little bunches like grapes that are producing the milk. And then when oxytocin causes it to contract, it goes through the milk ducts like the piping system, okay, and delivers the milk to the nipples and out to your baby. So this is the whole anatomy behind it.
Yep.
Sometimes mommy asks, hey, I see that there are some little like pimply bumps around on my areola. What are these things? So in this picture may not be so obvious, but if you observe, right, actually these are called Montgomery tubercles. Montgomery tubercles. So these are actually oil glands that appear to help mommy prepare for the breastfeeding journey. So don't be afraid, it's okay, because those are like lubricant and also is like an antibacterial. It keeps the germs away from the breast. Yeah.
It's what prevents the nipples from cracking as well, right?
That's right. Yes. Yeah. It's awesome, right? It's just human nature, and Mother Nature really takes care of us in a very miraculous way.
Really clever.
Yeah. So the next thing about knowing the stages in breastfeeding. So do you know that actually our milk starts to be produced or created during like the first trimester? So some mummies may already start feeling a little bit of like sensitivity during the first trimester. Some moms may not. It is normal. Then the lactogenesis 2, which is the stage 2, it's where milk starts to kick in. And this is kickstart after the placenta comes out. The expulsion of the placenta from the womb together with the baby, right? So milk will usually comes in from day 3 to 4. Some mummies will be very lucky, like first day, end of the first day or second day. So bonus, yay, those we have to like celebrate. Yeah, but other mummies, if you don't see milk coming out on third or fourth day, don't panic. It's okay. Mother Nature prepares the baby to be able to sustain even with their tiny little amount from you all the way to 5 days. Okay? So hang in there.
Yep.
Yes. And so there are stage 3, which is called the demand and supply, and then stage 4. So I will move forward a little bit more. It is also very important to understand the meaning like a milk production. So our breast is actually in a very interesting makeup, right? That the more you remove the milk from your breast, the more it can replenish. And sometimes we hear people say, oh, you must empty your breast, empty your breast. Actually, there is no technically a way to empty a breast because it is just a dynamic mechanics behind the anatomy, right? So the more we remove, the more it will fill up. So even while your baby is feeding or when you're pumping, you will realize that very soon after, 5-10 minutes later, the milk starts to resume. So remember to increase or to promote more supply is to increase more demand.
That demand supply thing, is very real. So just like, sometimes people talk about, oh, I must feed my baby only at this time. but
Yes,
we've just done it like hungry, just drink, just drink.
correct. Yes, yeah. Watch your baby, not the clock, right? So it's very important. Yeah, and the breast is actually made up of all these mammary glands inside, and so yeah, I'm not going to go into the specific. So remember, there is prolactin that is produced in the brain, and then there's oxytocin. All right, the hormones actually is the demand and supply. So when a mother breastfeeds or pumps milk, it just now I mentioned it can never be emptied totally because it is a dynamic process, and we just want to make sure that there is a continuous demand and supply going on so that you have more abundance of milk for your baby. All right. Next, I'm still at letter A, so I'm very conscious of my time.
Yes.
I want to give the audience, I just want to make sure that the audience have the full takeaway at the end of this session.
I think
Yeah.
they're already very intrigued, Yvonne. Already over questions already.
Yeah. So
Okay.
first of all, 6 things, all right? You can screenshot, and these are very important thing. And daddy, if you're right beside your wife, please take this picture, because when she just give birth, sometimes she may be drowsy, tired, and please be that cheerleader to do these 6 things with her. Number 1 is to do skin to skin contact with your newborn, especially in the first hour after birth, because skin to skin is a way to kickstart, right? And also some mummies may be asking, I saw some question just now earlier, if she goes through a C-section, what happened, right? So if you go through a C-section, daddy, you are the best skin to skin buddy in this system. Yes, daddy, take off your clothes. Skin to skin means naked top. Put the baby naked, then cover with the blanket. All right? Yes. And then number 2, be patient. Practice, practice, practice. You must practice to latch your baby. It will be about 8 to 12 times a day during the newborn period. And in the hospital, you will have a very experienced team to guide you. So always feel free to reach out and ask them to make sure that you are getting it right. So that goes to number 3, right? Get the latch and breastfeeding position correct. So a deep latch. Let me just show you with my favorite. Okay, I have a baby here. All right. Okay. So when a baby opens the mouth big, it's very important to have the chin touch the bottom of the breast first and then latch into the breast. Okay. So the chin always touches the breast. And observe that the mouth, the lips are flanched out. I will show more in the next picture. Okay. So getting a right latch is very important. Number 4, room in with your baby. Observe. It's a chance for you to get to know your baby. It's also for your baby to get to know you, right? So room in with your baby, observe, and also monitor your baby for hunger cues.
Yeah.
Number 5, feed on demand. Dawn, you shared earlier, right? Yeah. Don't worry about this. Start it off with your baby. It's like a cha-cha with your baby. So dance with your baby, waltz with your baby, and to establish your milk supply, feeding frequently is very important to trigger your body to make more milk. Okay. So last but not least, number 6 is to avoid teats, bottles, supplements unless it's medically indicated. Okay, from my experience, the painful experience I shared about Lucas earlier is because I had no choice. As a premier, I have to introduce the bottle at a very early stage, right? So to avoid this, it is very important to establish your breastfeeding routine first. Get your baby familiar and confident with each other, breastfeeding first, before you consider slowly introducing a bottle of breast milk for daddy or family members, siblings, to get involved in the whole feeding process. Because it's not just the mommy's work, it's a co-relationship, right? Co-partnership in this whole journey.
It's true. Daddies have to be involved.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So earlier I was using the baby and the prop, right? So if you look at the picture on the left-hand side, remember, it's very important for the chin to touch the mommy's breast and open the mouth wide to latch onto the mommy's breast. And baby must take in the areola as much as possible. And the lips are flanched out a little bit like fish lips. Okay, if your lips are pursed like this, can you drink from a straw? It's hard, right? But if you're relaxed, if your lips are relaxed and you drink, it's so much easier. So it's the same. But baby doesn't know. So sometimes we might just need to use our finger to assist them to flench out the lips a little bit for them to relax. Yeah. And an example of like a shallow latch is just nibbling on the nipple. I can feel the pain already by looking at this, or the position is incorrect. So when we see shallow latch is where there's a lot of pain involved, or it will eventually lead to sort of like some cracked nipples or nipple soreness. So remember, correct latch means it's not painful. It's very important.
They'll suck harder, right? If they don't.
Yes, they were actually like a vacuum cleaner, you know.
You're gonna bitten so many times.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to dislodge. Like when we try, it might not, baby might not get it the first time right. So it's okay to dislodge your baby and try again until the latch is correct. Yeah, and then yeah, just to take note that a shallow latch or inefficient latch might eventually lead to inefficient milk removal. So remember just now I talked about demand supply. If it's inefficient milk removal or the demand is low, what will happen? Supply will dip. So yes, so at this point, right, it's very important to reach out to an LC to check, because breastfeeding should not be painful.
Yep.
All right, we are ready to move on to the next letter. Are we good?
Yes. Oh, I think we need to speak a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe I will not talk so much about hand expression, but this is part of a skill that will be taught during an antenatal class. Okay, so anyway, yeah, please feel free to join those classes and you will actually have a real hands-on amazing session to learn about this. Now, next one, the next letter is W, work tools for breastfeeding. So getting to a confident start to breastfeeding, having the right tools is also very important to help you establish milk supply and increase the demand. So here comes my question. Do you know how to measure your nipple size? So do you know how to measure your nipple size? Or do you know how to get the right flange?
Wow, honestly, Yvonne, I breastfeed for my 4 girls. I also don't know how to answer this. I'm really interested to know this.
Yeah, excellent. That's why I'm here.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
And then in the meantime, I'm sure like I lost count because it just tells me 99 plus the number of questions that we have. Yeah. So
excellent.
if you guys have like burning questions, that you want to go talk to Yvonne about something, you can actually head on over to lactationcenter.com. That's where you're going to be able to find Yvonne, and then tap on her expertise. All right. Okay. We do have the poll results out already. So the majority, 85%, in fact, it's just one yes or no, right? 85% said no, they don't know how to measure. So let's learn.
Yeah, and this is the reason why me and my team, right, we want to make sure that, even during class, they have very, very clear understanding how to measure and get the right flange. Getting the right flange means pumping is comfortable. When pumping is comfortable, it will have a very healthy cycle that it will remove more milk because your whole filling is feeling more relaxed and comfortable at ease. And then the quality and the quantity of milk will improve. So overall, it will help your milk supply in the long run. So getting the right nipple measurement is very important. Okay. And if you go to lactationcenter.com, we have a lot of resources and information to guide you on that. Yep. Okay, these are the top 10 things that I feel I personally recommend must have for breastfeeding mothers. All right, screenshot. Okay, but my personal favorite is our Hegen manual breast pump. So it's designed to be light. It's only 80 grams, so it's lighter than a pack of sweets. Yeah, and you could carry it along anywhere you go. It's very convenient. It's an immediate backup in case your battery of your electric pump ran out or is cranky. So I want to share why this is my favorite product, because 18 years ago, during one of my flight out to Germany, actually 14 hours, right? So I thought my pump was fully charged. I was like, yeah, I've got this new age pump that has a rechargeable battery. It could support me throughout this 14 hours of flight, right? It didn't work.
Oh no.
It just didn't work. I don't know why, due to air pressure or something. it didn't operate. So I had to resort to go to the toilet and hand express for an hour.
Oh, ouch.
So actually, the physical is physical 100 already, right?
Yeah,
But imagine, right, the whole line outside waiting for me, and imagine the number of times the air stewardess had to knock and politely ask me like, "Hello, ma'am, are you all right?" You know, it was very
So
embarrassing and
stressful.
very painful. It's very stressful. So I knew if I were to invent and design a breast pump, I want to make sure it comes with a manual option or manual pump that works regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm
that
so
is
glad you. Yeah, that was a time for you to go and develop Hegen.
yes. They say if you're pain enough, you'll come out with something. So it was pretty
Yeah.
painful.
Find a solution.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So this is an example of Hegen manual pump. Yeah. And yeah, it is really one of the products that we love. And you might be asking, hey, why do we need a pump? Just latch the baby, right? Like, why? So pumping is very important if you have the following issues, okay, or following concerns. So for example, if the baby has difficulty latching during the first day, and then you want to stimulate and create more demand, it is important to use either hand expression or a manual pump to stimulate and collect some first milk for your baby. And then thereafter, you can also proceed to use the electric pump because it will help to really create more demand. All right. So this is the reason why we have a pump. So I would say that having a pump is like having a buddy, on your breastfeeding journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
And having it right there. Yeah. Yes.
So that's the Hegen one.
Yeah. Okay. So this one will speed forward due to time. I will not go into detail. Best to get your nipple measured by an LC or refer back to your breast pump customer service to assist you on this. Yeah. Now let's move on to the next A. The next A is called asking for help. It sounds very easy, right, Dawn? But actually, sometimes it's just so hard.
Yeah, or you just hear different various, very
Yes,
conflicting
exactly.
recommendations too.
Absolutely. So I think it is very important that we acknowledge that asking for help is not a sign of being weak or vulnerable. It is, we really need it. Ask, and it will be granted. It will come to you. So for example, spouse. You could actually get your spouse involved, ask your spouse to support you, like diaper changing, or bathing the baby, or burping after you breastfeed. Well, you have to go and wash the palms and all that stuff, right? Yeah. Or if you have a new baby in the household, there will be, I don't know, Dawn, do you have this? I personally experienced this, and I love my husband being my warrior because there are so many well-intended friends and relatives, right? That they give you all their personal tips, all their like myths and practices. So I get him to be like my guard, right? Like my warrior, and he will do the deflection and bring them out for coffee or things like that, and allow me to focus on myself and the baby, and then get enough rest physically and emotionally.
Oh, so sweet. I wish all dads would do that more actively, more proactively.
Yes.
Because in our society, I think there's still very much a culture where you're very shy to breastfeed even in public. Like for me, it's not like we're just whipping everything out, right? But still a lot of moms feel they have to sit down somewhere really, really secluded to do it. But for me, all four of them, I just don't care. If I'm having my meal, my kid will have my meal with me as well. So I never found a reason to have to just hide in the toilet to feed my kid. But yes, if I'm pumping and it's then I'll go somewhere where it's quieter and it's away from a crowd. But just feeding the baby, I think we should just know that it's a very natural thing. And why should we deprive our child of something when they're hungry, right?
Yes. And having a spouse like just being there to stand up for you, like when you're breastfeeding, or like be natural with you, right? When you're having the meal, breastfeeding the child, and when your spouse is being part of like that whole process, people stop judging. They think that it's a very like, oh, comfortable, and they will like not look past it, or get him to do the death stare when people try to look at your breast. Yeah.
Mine.
Yes.
Love
Yeah.
it.
And also we can actually get help from family. For example, we need some time out, like haircut, date night, get a body massage. So there are many ways of asking for help. It's very important to also ask help. For example, if you have breastfeeding challenges, I also saw a mom asking about inverted nipple. If she hasn't seen milk, like feeling at latching, trying to latch for a long period of time, what should she do? Seek help from a lactation consultant, especially a IBCLC. It's different. So there is different like lactation counselor and a lactation consultant. So IBCLC is the consultant level, is like the degree, right, versus the certificate. So it's important to get the right help, experienced help. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes. And it's also important to have a very pro breastfeeding pediatrician. So this is part of your birth team. Having a pro breastfeeding pediatrician is really very useful when you have challenges, or like, when you monitor your baby's growth. If there are any situations, they will also maneuver and help you along during these situations.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Next, I'm going forward now. Next letter, K. So K means keep calm, just feed. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's very easy to be said, but it needs a lot of reminder. Keep calm actually means sleep. I think a lot of time we are very overwhelmed by the new baby, the new chapter in life, the new season, new things, a lot of new body changes, new this, new that. You need sleep. Quality sleep is so essential for everyone's well-being. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's how you recover, it's how your body recuperates. And
yes. Can someone help me with my slides? I think I accidentally pressed too fast. Yeah. So anyway, while I'm on it, right? So sleep, quality sleep is so important, right? And especially when we are breastfeeding. So breastfeeding demands a lot of the mom's emotions and physiological and physical, well-being. So when we are breastfeeding, we need to produce milk. When we are producing milk, we're actually using a lot of energy. A lot of calories are burned. So without enough rest, the body is unable to produce the necessary amount of milk. That may cause a dip in supply. So we've seen moms that come crying and like, I cannot, like I haven't, so, baby is just crying and I don't have milk and etc. And then we realize that, mommy, have you been sleeping? How many hours have you slept? I haven't, because every hour my baby wakes up to feed, right? So interruptive sleep. So sleep deprivation can actually cause the mommy's mood to feel, challenged to care for their newborn as well. And sometimes it might even impact her physical health or the physical immunity and the risk of going into postpartum depression.
yes.
So here we are reminding sleep, baby sleep. It's very important. Yeah. When baby is sleeping, mommy, please sleep. Yeah. Put your devices away, disconnect to connect. Just focus on yourself and your baby. Yeah. Yes, all the devices. Yeah. Yeah. So I think, let me remind, like for a breastfeeding mother to prioritize your quality sleep, right? The word is quality sleep. Have a relaxing sleep environment. Establish a more consistent sleep schedule by setting up the environment for your baby and yourself, like a calmer or a dimmed room for sleeping, getting ready to sleep, and seeking help from your partner or a support network, etc., to assist with the nighttime feeding.
Yeah.
Okay? All right.
All right. All these. Yeah.
Now,
okay.
next poll.
We are on to our next poll. All right. So yes, hearing from you guys once again. Okay. So let us know. Have you been told to avoid a lot of food, a lot of types of food, I guess, when you breastfeed? Okay. So yes, you've been told to avoid this and that, or nope, you can eat whatever you want. Let us know.
Yeah.
Wow, Yvonne,
what's your thoughts?
Yeah. I honestly, okay, save for like, raw raw eggs. I didn't eat raw eggs. Once in a blue moon, I will eat sashimi, but I will go to only those restaurants where I really, really trust, but it's very small amounts, very small amounts.
Right.
So all in all, I say I really avoid raw foods. I don't really like salads. So I like my vegetables cooked. And I don't
I
really
see.
avoid very much like caffeine. I don't overdo, just really balance and making sure that I have a very good variety of food. That's of course like less processed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is very consistent. So you see, we are all not alone. We are really always right recommended lah, right? Or told, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so often like what you mentioned, right? Sometimes we will say, oh, durian too heaty, don't take too much because the baby milk will cause like, breakout. No spicy food, the oil, blah, blah, blah. So there's like yada, yada, yada. But I want to be happy.
Oh,
so how do we do that? Right?
My mother-in-law told me don't eat crabs because my daughter will be like
But yeah.
but no, they're very calm people, and I ate a lot of crabs.
Yeah. And I agree with you. I think most importantly is everything in moderation. Too much of something is not good, right? So it's very important to eat well and exercise.
Yes, that's
so
true.
letter E stands for eat well and exercise.
Correct.
And then, for example, okay, there are some things though that really under research, right? They will say try to avoid altogether. For example, large fish like shark, swordfish, tilefish, some of this high level of mercuries found in a fish, right, will affect the baby's brain development or nervous system. So no for those. Herbs or some large amount or overconsumption of peppermint, sage, cabbage. This actually will cause a dip in milk supply.
Cabbage?
Yes.
Whoa,
yes.
I know about mint.
Large amount. So it has to be a large amount. Yeah. So cabbage, we can actually use it to calm some engorgement. Yes. So these are some tips lah. So I think finally I want to share exercise is very important. So do some light exercise. I know it's tiring enough, as a new mom, coping with breastfeeding and a newborn, but take a light walk, or stroll nearby, have a yoga at home. Now can do virtual yoga, right? Stretches. Do stretches or some of this exercise to help you do to help with your postnatal recovery, and it also improves your mental wellness. So don't forget to get out, to get some sun and fun too. It's very important to get some sun.
It is. I have to
Vitamin D.
Yeah, it was the way that I actually managed to overcome my postnatal depression when I was living in France. Yeah, so how it was like just every day I just get out and then I just come back so happy. Just being out in the sun.
It does. Yeah. So
playing with the devices at home.
Just making sure.
Just if if you're not sure, like certain herbs, right? And of course there's like the in-depth there's probably a list of other foods that we should try to avoid or minimize as well. If you guys are not sure, you can check with Yvonne, head over to lactationcenter.com and then you can know where to find her and just check with her a lot of the other concerns that you have as well. Otherwise, put in the Q&A box.
Yes. Keep it coming. Yeah. So in case today we can't address all the questions, right, I will continue to reply and share with Singapore Parenting Fest to make sure that all the mummies will get their answers.
Yes.
So
and find it on the website.
Yeah. So I'm actually quite excited. We are towards the end of my presentation, but I would like to check if my parents, all the attendees, participants in this workshop have been paying attention to my workshop today. So let me have a quick check, okay? What does AWAKE stands for, the abbreviation? What does A stand for? Can you all type inside the chat? Would you be able to type inside the chat?
I don't think they can type.
Oh,
in the chat
They can't,
box. Yeah, they can't.
Okay.
They can only type in the Q&A box. Yeah.
All right. So I will
Yeah.
assume everybody very quiet lah. Okay.
I'm sure
Yeah.
the number of questions are, oh my God, it's overwhelming. They've really been paying
Yeah.
attention. So let's just try to shed more
Absolutely.
light on some of those
Yes.
common questions that we saw. Okay, so yes,
Excellent.
finally, your burning questions are going to be answered by our expert, Yvonne. And the first one that we're going to just clarify, somebody
Yes.
was asking, she's returning back to work for a few days
Yes.
and away from home. So she couldn't breastfeed her baby. How should her pumping schedule be like?
Okay, so she's returning to work and
For
she's
a few
unable
days.
to go home fast enough to feed the baby.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is very important about 1 to 2 months prior to returning to work to start preparing yourself and your baby that new routine. We are all habitual beings, right? So the baby is also a habitual being. So start by pumping out your milk following the routine like your baby's latching. You could start by latching the baby first and then subsequently pump some excess of the milk and then feed with a bottle. Introduce the bottle to your baby slowly. Don't immediately start everything, but start with a bottle a day. And usually we get the caregiver or daddy to start the bottle. Okay. And then when the baby is happy, combining breast and bottle, you slowly increase the number of bottle feed. While your baby is being bottle feed, you continue to pump and build your stash of milk. So when you return to work, pump very regularly. So I would recommend every 3 to 4 hours, pump and schedule it such that, first of all, you also have to communicate with your team members or colleagues, supervisors, work colleagues, right? That you're going to pump and set aside the time, the routine, and make sure that you consistently bring back a pump and then store properly and bring back the milk so that your kid can continue to have the exclusive breast milk from you. Hopefully this helps.
I think it's so important to just let your fellow colleagues and your bosses know that as well, so that, you know, at any point in time, you can just go and not have to feel stressed or worried about doing it as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, next question. How do I monitor the intake of my baby if I breastfeed? So whether knowing they're having enough or not.
Oh, okay. This is very interesting. Okay. So when the baby is newborn, how do we actually assess as an IBCLC is by weighing the baby before. So make sure that nothing is removed. For example, if the baby has the diaper on, so everything, right? Actually we remove the diaper because just in case the baby pee or poo during the feed, right? So you remove the diaper, you weigh the baby, and then you latch the baby. Then after that, you weigh the baby again and you see what is the increments. Yeah. So I will say that during the first week or 2 weeks, because sometimes the baby after birth, right, will have a slight dip in their birth weight and then they will build up again. So mommy and daddy might feel a little bit anxious, like, oh, is baby resuming back to the healthy percentile, right?
Yeah.
But don't get overly anxious. Yeah. Just make sure that the baby is feeding and is happy after every feed. That's great.
Yay. All right. Wow. I didn't know that they would actually weigh so precisely like that. But yeah, it would be very accurate.
Yes.
Okay, this is a very common question among many moms out there who have trouble breastfeeding. I have inverted nipples. Is breastfeeding ever possible?
Okay, we have seen success stories of inverted nipples. It's very hard to actually recommend or advise without seeing because inverted nipples have different intensity. So I would say that if it's generally not too deeply impacted, you are able to breastfeed successfully with the guidance of an LC. There is step-by-step method to it. So yes.
Okay, so if you want to know, you can go to lactationcenter.com and then go look for Yvonne and her team. They'll be able to help you on that because I think there are different degrees of inversion as well, right?
Yes, different.
Yeah. Okay, so I think you actually explained this just now, but maybe some people came in a bit later. Somebody actually asked, when can we feed water?
Oh, okay. So I would say that it's about the third or fourth week. So most importantly, right, it's based on your baby. Your baby will give you the cue. So we must make sure we establish the breastfeeding routine first, that the baby is confident latching on you, drawing out the milk regularly, and then you are confident also with your baby before you start introducing a bottle around the 3rd week. Yeah, and then start slow. 1 bottle a day with your breast milk, and get your caregiver or your husband or someone at home to help instead of mommy, because the baby will be very upset if you are the one using the bottle. Like, why are you giving me not from fresh from a tap? You are giving me from someone else.
Confusion.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So there you have it. And then somebody was asking, when is the best time for colostrum collection?
This is a very, very good question. So colostrum collection in the recent years is recommended to be collected in a very safe and hygienic way, right? It must be a safe and hygienic way, 37 weeks onwards. Yeah, because sometimes it may trigger early labor. So we don't want any mommy to go into a preterm labor. So it must be full term, like 37 onwards. And I would really highly recommend that it is guided. Please do not do it on your own at home. Yeah. And the way you keep the syringe, the way you keep the stored colostrum, it's very important, because imagine there's no way to check how sterile the milk is collected and then transferred to your baby. And newborn, they are absolutely like totally brand new, so there is a lack of the immunity. So we want to make sure we protect the baby.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Now, there's these 2 questions which I'm going to try and combine into one now, because it's got to do with measuring the nipples, which you mentioned earlier. We've got to measure the nipples, right? So
Yes.
then the person, another person also asked, when do we buy a pump, before or after the baby comes? So I suppose the question is also like, does the nipple change after baby comes out?
Yes. Yeah. So our nipple size actually evolves along our pregnancy journey, and we'll recommend around 37 weeks to take the measurement of your nipple. That is the most accurate, and you should prepare your breast pump prior to your childbirth. So it's likened to the tools, right? You need to learn how to use the tools. Like you go for mathematics exam, right? You buy a mathematics, math calculator during the exam also cannot, even though it's like the best tool you need, right? So it's very important to learn how to use it. At Hegen, we actually have a class to teach you step by step how to select the level, how to use the pump, how to wash the pump, etc. Everything. So we handhold you to make sure when you are at hospital, you don't panic. Focus on your baby.
Yeah. So don't buy it too soon. You actually have a window that is better for you to measure your nipples. Then you can actually go and buy. Yeah. So I think after 37 weeks.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Now, advice for low supply moms. How can we increase our milk supply?
Okay. It depends on how many weeks your baby is, and then also definition of low is very subjective. So if I focus on, let's assume that maybe I'll clarify the definition of low, right? Low supply would mean that the supply is not able to meet your child's appetite, not enough to feed or meet your child's appetite. Okay, so that's the definition of low supply. Because some mummies that I met, they have a huge stash, and because they're competing, like, with the neighbors and some friends or that, like Instagram posts. So it's okay. So if I focus on building up the low supply to a better supply, is first you need to substantiate with pumping to stimulate with more demand, right? The demand and supply. So after your baby latching is the best, because your baby's saliva, the whole hormone, the whole bonding, it's actually a good trigger for the prolactin and the oxytocin. So latch your baby. After latching, use the electric pump to substantiate another like 50 minutes per breast to try to pump up more. And there are some herbs or medicine that your gynae, your OBGYN would be able to prescribe, or family physician, for example, would be able to prescribe if you really feel very, very low supply.
So there's help if you tried what you know. There might still be other solutions. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Yes. Okay. And then somebody also asked, will my breastfeeding experience for my second baby be like my first baby? I think we had a conversation about it briefly
Yeah.
earlier.
Every breastfeeding journey is different. Every baby is different. Their personality is different.
Yeah.
So enjoy it, because each one will help you to relearn, unlearn, totally experience new things and have fun at it.
Yep, like one of ours just doesn't want to latch on, so it will be different. Okay, and then somebody was asking, when should we start massaging our breasts?
Massaging the breast is actually to help stimulate milk supply, right? So I will advise that you can massage your breast. So let me show you with this. Okay, you can massage around, but don't touch the areola area. Avoid the areola area to stimulate. So actually you can do some 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, a bit of vibration massage, but just don't touch the areola. Keep about 3 cm away from the nipple and areola. Yeah. It will make you feel a little bit more comforted lah.
Okay. All right. So this one, I think for those who drink alcohol, do I need to pump and dump after drinking alcohol?
Yeah. Okay, this is a very interesting and commonly asked question. So first of all, alcohol consumption is not encouraged, but if once in a while you just want to indulge in a glass, like you have a date night, okay, I will suggest you feed the baby, or you time it such that you feed the baby or you pump prior going out or having that glass, and then at least 2 to 3 hours allow your body, so you must be still sober, and allow your body to actually let the alcohol dissipate in your body. Yeah, but to be safe, we will normally say that if you can, pump it out and don't throw it away. Pump it out and use it for your baby as a milk bath. So the next day, pour it into the bath water and bathe your baby with, or you can use it as facial mask. Yeah.
I've done that before. And then my sister stole my milk as well to do the same.
Yeah, it's so good, right?
Yes.
I wish I knew earlier, because I didn't put it on my face.
Yeah, she put it on her face.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And yeah, our
It's
colleagues
good.
who does it, so our senior IBCLC, she was the one that shared with us. We're like, wow, we should do like face masks, right? Instead of collagen, it's actually breast milk.
So much good stuff in it, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so back to the food thing again, right? Somebody asked, does eating a vegetarian diet affect the quality and quantity of my breast milk?
Okay, there's a lot of different school of thoughts about this. I think having vegetarian diet sometimes may have some deficiency in certain vitamins. So it is very important, if you have this special diet, to inform your OBGYN or see a nutritionist and see what are the supplements that they can provide to you to make sure that your nutrients is sufficient to protect you and also for your baby. But generally, the vegetarian diet will not affect the quality of your breast milk for your child.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a healthier diet overall, but yeah, I think that like you said, there's certain herbs and certain foods that we need to try and avoid, because it will actually ruin milk supply. All right. Okay, so next question is, baby tends to fall asleep on the breast. Should I unlatch her?
Yeah, okay, so sleepy baby. So it's very important to, like my 5-letter, awake, so it's very important to wake the baby up. So during the first week or 2, baby may be still sleepy. It's important, to tickle the ears, touch the chin, dislodge a bit, unwrap the baby, let the cold air, like wake the baby up a bit, then relatch. Yes.
Yeah, but don't go and shake, okay?
Oh, don't shake. Yeah, sometimes they will get very tickle, like under the ear, behind the neck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, just in case you guys are wondering, because we mentioned about sleep, right? Actually, there's a webinar tomorrow where we will talk a little bit about sleep. So if you're interested to know more about like sleep training as well, please make sure that you're registered for tomorrow's webinar. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So there's somebody who's asking about baby spitting up, right? So does baby spit milk right after feed, when baby spits milk right after feeding, does it mean that he or she is full?
Okay, so if a baby spits milk after, it depends on the intensity. because if it's slightly little bit, sometimes, yes, baby is full. They may have a little bit of reflux because baby's intestines are still not matured yet. Okay. However, if it's projectile speed, then we have to really watch. Yeah, it may be some underlying issues that we have to seek help.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So sometimes you just cannot just assume too easily. If
Yes.
you're concerned, just look for the experts like Yvonne at lactationcenter.com.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to skip a couple of questions that we have here for the sake of time. So someone is asking, how do I stay motivated while breastfeeding despite seeing some super low supply and being super tired after giving birth? What food can bring in higher amounts of breast milk?
What food? Generally, right, I think all food in moderation is great. The oilier fish type of food and high nutrition, high calories kind of food. Yeah, this will actually generally help. So I feel that it is very important that food that makes you happy, it will actually produce more oxytocin. And then when you have more oxytocin, it will again produce more milk.
Yeah, I think trying to go on a diet too soon to try and lose the baby weight is not a very sensible thing to do, right? So just like what
Yes.
Yvonne said, eat the nourishing foods that can actually help you be able to, improve your milk supply and nourish you and baby. Okay, so
Yes.
it will help you
Yeah.
lose weight too.
Actually, breastfeeding helps to lose weight as long as our output is more than our input, right? So don't have to worry about losing weight too early, because by the time about 6 months, you will be surprised by the results of breastfeeding.
Yeah, and that's when they're consuming so much milk already, right?
Yes.
And someone who is interested to know about having a partner come to help. She asked, I want to nurse most of the time, but also would like my partner to help. When is the right time to introduce a bottle so that I can rest?
I think just now we have a similar question. So it's very important that the breastfeeding journey is established, the routine is established with your baby. Your baby is confident already, can latch fully, can draw milk. You are also confident. Then about third week, you can introduce one bottle and then slowly increase the number of bottle feeds. Yeah, with your breast milk.
Cool. All right. Okay. So there's somebody asking about the latching again. So we'll take just the last two questions. And then for those of you whose questions are not answered, don't worry. Okay, you can actually we will still pick up those questions and have Yvonne and her team help to answer. And these answers will actually be put up on the Singapore Parenting Festival's website. Okay, so make sure that you're heading back to the website to check in, and you might get your answers there. Otherwise, you know where to look for Yvonne is at lactationcenter.com. Right. So second last question. Somebody's asking if I am on medication, and I think nowadays it's like flu, COVID, stuff like that. People do fall sick. So if she's on medication, can she still breastfeed?
So this is also a myth that can be debunked. So some of the illnesses, right, actually will help mommy produce the antibodies in our milk, such that the baby will have an immunity against the virus. So it is very important to continue to breastfeed unless the doctor tells you otherwise. So please inform your doctor that you are a breastfeeding mom, so that they actually prescribe safe to consume medications, and also how to cope with that transitional period. So wear your mask, make sure you wash your hands before you carry your baby or latch. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And then one last question, talking about latching. How do I correct a shallow latch?
Okay. So it's very important to see first the posture of the baby. The baby's ear, shoulder, and hip should be in a straight line.
Demo. Yes.
Ear, shoulder, hip should be in a straight line. Okay. So when they are in a straight line, or a way to make it in a straight line, right? So prevent the baby from arcing back. So when it's in a straight line, or you tuck the legs next to your waist, right? That is the first important breastfeeding carrying posture. Next thing is the baby. Let me use this. Yeah, this is the nipple. Whoa. Okay, and this is the baby's mouth. We have a little mouth pad here. So make sure that the chin touches
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Yvon, we can't see because the background is
Okay,
covering.
here.
Yeah, better.
Okay. So
Hmm.
the chin must touch the, remember the chin must touch the breast. Open the mouth big and the tongue is actually below, right? This is the tongue. Okay. Yeah. And then latch fully. Yeah. So it's usually from bottom up like that. And the lips must flange out. So these are the points to check. However, on TV is very hard, on screen is very hard for me to demo. Please come and see us.
Yes.
Me and my senior IBCLC will, either one of us will be able to guide you to correct the shallow latch and making sure that you don't have any painful experience.
Correct. Because like you said just now, and you showed us as well, there's so many different nipples.
Yes.
Different.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think
Yeah.
a picture says 1,000 words, but I think there are more than 1,000 different types of nipples. So yes, go see the expert, lactationcenter.com. That's where you can find Yvon. But over here, I think the previous slide, you also could see the Instagram handle. All right. So you can find
Yes.
Yvon, on
Yeah.
Instagram, Yvon Bock. And then there's also Hegen Lactation Center. All right. So you can follow these two pages as well. And then find out, the little nuggets of wisdom that they share once in a while. All right. So yeah, if you're interested,
I would really love to continue to connect with the mummies out here. And thank you for spending time with me as well. And we have a team of senior IBCLCs. So you can reach out to me via my Instagram or the Hegen Lactation Center Instagram or lactationcenter.com. So if you would like to experience the Hegen hospitality, the breastfeeding hospitality, sign up for our interactive and fun antenatal classes. So we have a lot of props, a lot of interactions with mommies and daddies. So reach out to us, our IBCLC team at the Hegen Lactation Center. We'll love to meet you and assist you. So our team is actually senior IBCLCs with years of experience in the hospitals, and they are here ready to explore your new journey together. So
yeah, it could actually be a very enjoyable journey, right? Okay, so for those who attended the webinar with us today, I do want to point out that it's actually made possible thanks to the Singapore Parenting Festival, the MediaCorp, as well as the Asian Parents. So Singapore Parenting Festival is back for like this third year already, and it's actually brought to you by MediaCorp, the Asian Parent, with gold partners, Sparkle Tots, PCF, Do Max, Do Grow. We also have Scott's, and then our content partners, Moms for Life, Dads for Life, Center for Fathering, and Hoya.